What's going on, everyone? Whoever I can connect to through this video. Today I want to talk about how I deal with my mental illness, and I do so now without medication. And if you're on medication, this video is for you also, because I'm not judging anybody that uses medication or doesn't use medication. I'm just telling you what I do, and even if you're on medication, it can work as well. Well, as everybody knows, we're coming into some hard times. It's going to be a kind of like a financial attack that's happening. Everybody thinks, all these other things, which could happen as well, but I think mostly we're under a financial attack right now. And we really have to, buy the right things when we do have money to buy things with. We have to buy the right things. I like to have extra food and extra water just because that makes me feel better. When you're mentally ill, a lot of people take a lot of precautions in other areas, but what we have to do is you could actually use your mental illness and focus it on other things that are important. You can, like I said, just have some extra food, extra water. I mean, I don't go any crazier than like maybe a month's supply worth of both, because here's the thing. If things go farther than a month, you're not going to want to survive. You're really not, because really bad things are going to start happening. So, let's be real and honest here. Just have a month's worth of stuff, whether it's some meat in a freezer and having a small solar generator, something that's not that expensive, that you can get just to run your refrigerator to keep your meat frozen. Just little things like that. So food, water makes me feel better. Having enough to survive a little time, so that hopefully things would get going again. So a little extra food, a little extra water. Now, I know there's a lot of people that just can't afford to do that. I understand. I afford just to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I get the extras of things that I need. And, that's how I survive. I would rather buy meat from a farm, from a local farm here I get it from one state over in New York, from a local upstate New York farm. I get my meat delivered fresh from the farm, because that's what I prefer to spend my money on, instead of something else stupid, that isn't going to benefit me. Having a good diet that's going to benefit me and just make me feel better in general, because I already feel horrible, mentally and sometimes physically. So it really makes a big difference. I spend my money on high quality food. Now listen, like I said, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just suggesting things, and you can take it or leave it for whatever you want to do with it. It's just, I like to be prepared for a situation where I might have to not be able to go to the store for, like I said, at least a month. So let's all think about that, because something like that could definitely happen. And that's not too far away. So let's be prepared for that. And then you don't have to worry. And also, with your mental illness, especially with everything that's going on, you need to watch and listen to positive things, okay? So instead of watching all the bad news, watch something that's inspiring. Like, I love animals. I like to, watch animal videos, wolves or whatever it may be. I like wolves, but you got to do something positive. Even the music that you listen to has to be a little bit positive. And if you want to watch a movie, watch a comedy. Watch something that's going to, make you laugh, because all of these things are going to just, it barely uplifts my spirit, but it gives me we'll say a distraction Very rarely I'm in the mood for a movie these days. I play video games. I try to do little distractions, but I also do things. You have to do things in the real world too. You have to, you know, when I was a child, all we had was a TV. So we watched TV for a distraction. Now you have a little TV in your pocket all the time. So you could really get carried away, and that's no way to live. You can't live like that. You got to do things in the real world too. But you need a distraction. You definitely need a distraction. With mental illness, you have to distract yourself with something that's going to take your anxiety away. People say playing video games is bad. It's not bad. It's just you have to, it's bad if you're playing it, 19 hours out of the day and night, and then, that's your life. Yes, then it's bad. But if you play an hour, even an hour and a half of video games every day, that's not going to destroy you, okay? So you need a distraction. I'm starting to make these videos, and it's a good distraction. And it's also, it gives me that feeling that maybe I could help somebody else. And even if they take some advice that I gave and they used it and tried it and it helped them, then that would be really good, That would be a really positive thing that would come out of me putting these videos up. Because I've never been to war, let's say, in an actual war. But if you want to say that somebody's life has been a war, it's me, and I know a lot of other people out there too have been through a war in their life. And if I can give you some advice and maybe you take it and it works, that's a win-win. So yeah, but you need a distraction. You definitely need a distraction. Just not too much, because you want to stay in the real world. You want to know what's going on too. You need to watch a tiny bit of bad news just to see and analyze what's going on. But really, you got to put some positive things into your lineup, because just nonstop negativity. I went through a little phase where I just watched things that were constantly negative, and I learned a lot, but it was really beating me down. And with, having mental illness and addiction and everything else, you don't want to constantly be programming. You're literally programming your mind just to be totally negative, and can't do that. So, yeah, I hope maybe you can get something out of this video, but do things that make you feel better. That's all. Even if it, like I said, it's buying some extra food and water. It makes me feel better. Whatever it is, do it. Do a distraction. And you can creep through this life. It is possible. So, yeah, I hope somebody gets something out of this. Stay tuned.